Welcome, guys. It's been a privilege working with you all right from the inception. Let's start with you, Rajiv. Tell us about your background and why entrepreneurship again and again.
My background is I have a technical background. Did a bachelor's, master's in computer science. I was really more of an introvert, geekish type student, right? But then I went and did this MBA thing at Stanford, learned a lot, met a lot of interesting folks who were entrepreneurs. And that's where I got that initial itch. I found it very fascinating to be at the intersection of technology, solving some interesting problems, and creating value. I go through that and want to do it again and again.
Once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. Varun, first one, but you have been part of many successful companies. What led to entrepreneurship?
So my first company was a big company.
Yep.
And at that point, I kind of decided that I'm a more faster paced, more focused, smaller company kind of person. So after that, I joined Level 1 Communication, which went public and then got bought by Intel. And then after that, I was at Juniper Networks. We decided to form Palo Alto Networks. And then finally, Auradine.
And from your side, what was the big aha? You were doing so well at Palo Alto. What excited you about Auradine?
Two things. One is Palo Alto was getting bigger and bigger. So it was time for me to find the next fast thing. And Web3 was very interesting. And so I started digging a little bit on Web3 and thought, where is the maximum TAM available? And it happened to be in the Bitcoin space. So we got in touch with some few customers, and one of the customers said, yeah, you guys are on the right path. If you do this, we would partner up with you. With that in mind, I went to some of the old Palo Alto folks like Mark McLaughlin, and Mark said, Rajiv is available. Immediately call him. So I said, oh, Rajiv is available. Let's
so that's how you guys paired up. So what was the big aha that sparked in your head when you guys got together?
Originally, what happened is that as Varun came to me and said this Bitcoin is an interesting thing, it was clear it was going to be interesting, but we want to be bigger than Bitcoin, right? And can we build an infrastructure company for the future of the internet, similar to how we've done in the past? It also was very clear to us is that you have to leverage the strengths that you have. So at that time, beyond the Bitcoin, we said, let's look at more broadly the blockchain area. And we looked at, zero knowledge proof. We looked at other Web3 applications. It was very clear to us we would not be a company that builds yet another token or a DeFi app. We were not in that. We are more infrastructure folks. But as we all know, at the end of 2022, ChatGPT exploded onto the scene, and the world looked like a very different place in the beginning of 23 than it did in 22. And that's when we expanded our horizons to include AI. And within AI, we said we are very strong in security and networking, which is like an incredible opportunity that we can go after.
The company is a few years old. Last year was our first year of shipping revenue. How's this journey compared to your prior ones on revenue ramp and capital efficiency?
So the revenue ramp has been incredible. And I think it is a testament to a few different factors. We were fortunate that we were able to raise meaningful capital to execute on a leading edge chip technology node. We have a very strong customer, collaborative customer who's very supportive. So that helped us define the product very quickly. And then I would say Varun and the team are just incredible execution engine. I mean, they executed very fast. And we took some, I would say, calculated bets. When we did our very first chip, many companies in like 4 nanometer or 3 nanometer are very scared to do a full tape out with the very first design. And they do test chips and things like that. And we said, let's take a bet and we did a lot of work, but we needed a little bit of luck to make sure that the A0 silicon would be production. And that turned out to be the case. So I think all of those coming together were critical in the fast revenue ramp that happened.
What's the favorite moment that comes to mind on the Auradine journey?
We have a bell. So every time we get a PO, we ring the bell and everyone comes together, we break champagne. And lately it has been quite a few of those, to the point that people have suggested it has to be this many millions of dollars and more that would ring the bell. So
only this much or hundreds of millions of dollars?
Exactly.
So coming back to you, Rajiv, being a seasoned entrepreneur, executive, what are lessons of the road as entrepreneurs start companies and start scaling them you want to share with other founders?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is that where you end up is different than where you start. When you're down and you've encountered a surprise, what can you make of it?
Yep.
Is there something interesting? Some people call it pivot, some people call it adapt. I really try to see where is that silver lining, right? And I think that is a very important aspect of my playbook that actually allows you to keep going for a while and not go down. So Naveen, you've been in the Valley for a long, long time. You've actually done some startups yourself. And by the way, I think you're one of the few folks in Silicon Valley that still looks at semiconductors, understands semiconductors and invests in them, right? And in infrastructure. Tell me a little bit about how you made that transition from entrepreneur to VC and why is infrastructure still important to you?
I come from a technical background, AA, and then you learn CS along the way. And I love semiconductors and infrastructure because we live in Silicon Valley. I predicted in 2016 it's going to be an era of renaissance silicon, and my job is to bring silicon back to Silicon Valley. And 8 years later, the largest market cap companies are silicon and infrastructure, the cloud providers. These are like the roads that need to get built. To build roads, you need ingredients. So that's what semiconductor and infrastructure companies do. They allow new apps. AI is the wave, but for AI to get built, you need new infrastructure.
You invested in Auradine, and we've been partners in coming up with interesting ideas. So what did you see here, and what do you see going forward from an Auradine perspective?
Mayfield is a people-first firm. We bet on people first, market second. So when I see great people with similar values to us who are ambitious to go through any wall, but the right way, that's where we lean in. And our decision is 99% done. In the case of Auradine, like you guys are aligned with values, phenomenal human beings, very successful yet humble, and have the hunger to create the next big thing. So it starts with there, check. Secondly, the problem you're solving is massive and it's a painkiller, not a vitamin. So when you see those two things, you just jump and go on the journey, and hopefully you can carry some bags for the entrepreneurs along the way.
Right.
So that was the case. And then since the initial investment, it's been a privilege working with you guys. We talk mornings, evenings, nights, and together that's what keeps somebody like me nimble and excited. It's about the journey, as you guys said, and together making things faster, better, and acting as your safety net. And I am hoping we have done that, and we want to keep doing that again and again. And then strategies, products will keep evolving.
Yeah, I think it's been a phenomenal journey, and we are looking forward to many, many years going forward and building, many successful product lines, companies, and so on and so forth.
So you guys are on my speed dial, and I think I'm also on the speed dial. Whenever anything happens, we just excite each other all the time.
We do that to each other.
Yeah, we do that to each other.
So it's been great to be one of your foundational partners in this journey.
Absolutely.
I think we should just together.